In March last year, I had a few weeks of illness and a blood test showed up that my kidneys weren't working properly. So I was taken into hospital. Various tests later, I was told that I had multiple myeloma, which is a type of blood cancer, and this had caused my kidneys to fail. It was hoped that my kidneys would start to work again once I'd had a little bit of treatment, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So last year I had to go through 6 months of chemotherapy, and I'm also on dialysis now for the rest of my life. I spend 12 hours a week hooked up to a dialysis machine. I go 3 times for 4 hours into the hospital. It's taken quite a toll on me, and obviously because of the dialysis I can't work full time anymore, so my hours have been drastically reduced. I'm now only working part time. My cancer is in remission at the moment, but I do have to have regular blood tests to make sure that it isn't recurring, and if that happens there will be further treatment down the line. Everything has really come to a standstill. You can't make any plans for the future really. The financial impact is enormous as well. You know, obviously going from a full-time job down to part-time, it's taken quite a toll really. I was off work for 6 months while I had the chemotherapy. That was quite horrendous, and it really made me feel tired. So when I came back to work, I had to come back on a phased return, just build the hours up slowly. The maximum I can do now is 14 hours a week, and to be honest, I don't think I could cope with any more than that. I suppose I'm in a fairly fortunate position that my partner is working full time. I'm also fortunate I've no children at home and I don't have a mortgage. But obviously all the extras, the holidays, things like that, we've got to be very careful now because of the reduction in the income that's happened because of all this. Absolutely, yeah. You know, critical illness insurance would have just given me a payout, and there would have been a huge cushion there in the background to help. I suppose like lots of people, you think, hey, it won't happen to me. I'd taken my health for granted. I did think it won't happen to me, and it's something that I always knew I should have in place, and it's something that I thought, well, yeah, I will get that sorted out one day. You know, I will get that arranged. But I wasn't quick enough, and I should have done it. With hindsight, and especially with the industry that I work in, I should have known. I should have had that in place. Getting a diagnosis like this is terrifying. The world stops for a little while. You can't think straight. You worry about the future. You wonder how you're going to pay the bills. You wonder how your health's going to be. Now, that on its own is horrendous, and if you haven't got any sort of protection in place, you know, if you do have a mortgage, if you do have children, it's catastrophic. You know, how will you pay the bills if you can't work? Having had the experience I've had with the diagnosis that I got last year, my message would be, you must get some cover in place to help and protect your mortgage and protect your family. When you're diagnosed, all you can think about is your health. All you can think about is the future. How are things going to pan out? How will you cope? On top of that, if you've got to worry about all the bills and the mortgage, it would be an absolute nightmare. So I think everybody needs to think about what they can put in place to make sure that if you get a similar diagnosis to me, you've got that protection there, you've got that cushion where a mortgage can be repaid, where you can continue to get an income stream if you can't work anymore. Think about the mortgage, think about your bills, think about the children, think about your food shop, think about everything like that. It can be quite complicated. So think about it carefully, get some protection in place, and please don't leave it until it's too late.